Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held phone talks with Israel's new Prime Minister Naftali Bennett on Monday. During the talks, President al-Sisi reaffirmed Egypt's support for efforts to reach a just and final settlement to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict with the aim of achieving comprehensive peace in the Middle East. The President also stressed on the importance of preventing any escalation between the two sides. The President reviewed Egypt's role in the reconstruction of the Palestinian territories, and the talks also covered bilateral relations. For his part, the Israeli Prime Minister expressed appreciation for the Egyptian efforts to achieve security and stability in the region and for its role in reaching a Palestinian-Israeli ceasefire after the recent escalation, as well as mediating the prisoners' exchange negotiations. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry participated on Monday in a ministerial meeting of the International Coalition to Fight Daesh terrorist group in Rome, Italy. Shoukry reviewed Egypt's comprehensive vision for combating terrorism and reiterated Egypt's commitment to the international coalition. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry participated on Monday in a ministerial meeting of the International Coalition to Fight Daesh terrorist group in Rome, Italy. Addressing the gathering, Shoukry reviewed Egypt's comprehensive vision for combating terrorism. He also reiterated Egypt's commitment to the international coalition. The meeting is attended by the foreign ministers of the coalition and Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abul Gheit. Speaking during the meeting, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that 10,000 Daesh terrorists continue to be held in detention in camps run by the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. He noted that this situation was untenable. Blinken said Washington continued to urge countries, including the 78 member countries of the coalition against Daesh, to take back their citizens who had joined the group. Blinken said that another key element of defeating the Daesh terrorist group on a permanent basis required addressing the threats of the group outside Iraq and Syria, and namely in Africa. For his part, Italian Foreign Minister Luigi Di Maio said the world should not lower its guard against Daesh, which remained a particular concern in Africa. France and Britain, two of the closest U.S. allies, have been holdouts against calls to bring back their citizens, which were also made by former President Donald Trump's administration. Originally an offshoot of Al-Qaeda, Daesh seized large swathes of Iraq and Syria from 2014, imposing a reign of terror. The group was declared militarily defeated in 2017, but has since waged a steady insurgency across parts of Iraq and Syria. The coalition's ministers are meeting for the first time in person since February 2019, with diplomacy hampered by the coronavirus pandemic. On the sidelines of his participation in the ministerial meeting of the anti-Daesh coalition in Rome, Shoukry held a number of bilateral meetings with his counterparts. Shoukry met with his British counterpart, Dominic Raab, to coordinate stances on regional issues of mutual concern. The talks also covered the latest developments in Ethiopia's dam. Earlier, Shoukry met with his Dutch counterpart, Sigrid Kaag, for talks on means of boosting bilateral relations. The foreign minister also met with his Tunisian counterpart, Osman El Gerendi. The talks covered means of exchanging and enhancing cooperation and exchanging views on regional and international issues. Shoukry also met with his Guinean counterpart, Ibrahim Kaba, for talks on boosting bilateral relations. The talks also covered a number of African affairs. The Coordination Committee for Parties, Youth Leaders and Politicians finalized a draft law for moving lands possessions from various ministries to the projects allocated for the construction of youth sports centers across the country. The law stipulates the expansion of urban areas for youth and the services provided by youth centers and installations in all cities and villages. The law also states that the ownership of these lands should be transferred to the Ministry of Youth after being submitted to the Prime Minister. Welcome back. Egypt's stock market indices collectively retreated at the close of Monday's trading sessions. The benchmark EGX 30 index was down 0.3%. The EGX 70 index for small and medium businesses was lowered by 0.8%. The broader EGX 100 index lost 0.7%. The market capitalization lost around 2 billion Egyptian pounds.